each season. Welcome everybody to another edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018. Summer Seasons is Masters League going on right about now. I'm your host Vagish Gotslebhan. Unlike our production head Kunal Kesing, who still vehemently refuses to make my name Vagish Gotslebhan, as you can read downstairs.
God 5.
God 5. I don't know who God 5 is.
I think you should just change your name to God 5.
Why should I be God 5?
I don't know, it sounds cool.
Like, that's like so pseudo Shaktiman. That's like millennial Shaktiman. But, ladies and gentlemen, this wonderful lady joining me on the desk is none other than our resident analyst for both Clash Royale and Dota 2. Goes by the name Zara Angela Gonzalez. Welcome on the show, buddy.
How are you doing, man?
You ask me the same question every day.
Okay, I'll change my question. Would you like some rasgullas?
Do I what?
Would you like some rasgullas?
Some Roshagulas? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I refuse to offer these Roshagulas to the production like they said yes in my
Yes, that loud
only
yes.
talent. Production only talent. These are talent treats. So now moving on and ignoring what production said about them being talent, we have a Clash Royale game. Yes, but before we actually speak about the game in general, let's also give a huge shout out to our adorable sponsors, Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, and the people who present to you all of the ESL India Premiership. I'm talking about Nordvin Gaming and ESL. Yeah, that was a shout out. Okay, now the Clash Royale game. We have a best of 5 lined up for you guys. Very interesting match this seems to be. It's Prashant PP Pandey versus Saif Patel.
Yes.
So let's first of all get to know these guys. Let's start off with Prashant PP Pandey. All right, that's Prashant PP Pandey there. He's been consistent, how would I say, ESL member when it comes to having. Yeah, I think how many times have we've seen him in last year? We've seen him in 2016 also.
I think he was there for one season of 2016.
Yeah. So he's been there. He's been there throughout, through and throughout there. So that's Prashant PP Pandey there. Angie, you want to add anything about?
Yeah, as of now, Prashant stands 7th on the leaderboard. He's played 2 games. Actually, he's played 3 games as of now. And in the first 2 games that he has won, he's won against Jamit and Mukul. Now, Mukul being our last year defending champion. But he's taken a loss against Arpan, who has been our 2-time champion in the summer season and the fall season 2017.
The dab monster.
Yes. But more about him after we hear more about who he's going to go up against.
Yeah, sure. Well, he's going to go up against none other than Saif Patel. All right, that's Saif Patel there. I'm pretty much assuming the fact that Saif comes from Gujarat.
Yeah, Saif is from Bharuch. Hey, Saif Patel, yes, as you mentioned. We have a lot of contestants. We have a lot of contestants and talent from Gujarat in the past 2 years.
Yeah,
if
actually,
you consider Mama
and if you look at
Adi
it, haven't you realized there's a
your surname is Aditya Shah.
Aditya Shah is from Gujarat. Yes, he's from Gujarat. Yes, he's there. And have you realized like how the games are like localized in the country? Like Clash Royale is like so Gujarati in the
That's
sense.
not true.
And then you go to the northeast side, you have more of fighting games and Tekken and everything they have there. Then you go towards Delhi side where they're like, hum to kuch bhi chalega khelenge.
Bombay is like the headquarters.
And then Bombay is like Bombay is literally like Mumbai Central.
Yeah.
Everything's there like khichdi. It's like pav bhaji for esports.
Yeah.
So that's a great way. Whoever is watching this show and is in advertising, free idea. Bombay, pav bhaji of esports. Oh, crap. I've given the best copy ever I could give in a long time.
But talking about Saif, he's as of now sitting on 9th on the leaderboard. But the great part about this player is, as of now, he's played 2 games. He took a win against Arpan. Now, Arpan is the only player in this tournament as of now who's taken only one loss, and that is to Saif. So even though he sits ninth on the leaderboard, defeating a person who has been the reigning champion for so long is something commendable. And I think Saif has kind of grown in the ESL India Premiership. The first two games that he played, he was a little nervous, not really, he's getting the warmth of the game and all that. But now that he's back very strong. He's taken a loss to Mukul, but he's won his game against Saif. So knowing Saif, I'm expecting him to take this game. I would love to see what else he has in store for us. And before we get into further, we can check out their favorite cards as of now are the Golem and the Three Musketeers. Saif loves to play the Three Musketeers, but Prashant and Saif both love to ban out their favorite cards for each other. So let's see. Yeah, they have done that. They've gone and banned out the Golem and the Three Musketeers, and that's put both these players in a spot. Are they going to opt to go with the Giant, which is supposedly the favorite card as of now in the ESL India Premiership? If they both decide to play the Giant, they would have to also go with counter cards to kill the Giant, and that would be a Dark Prince, a Prince. I have also seen Saif play the Dark Witch, which is not really played that much in the summer season of our ESL India Premiership. So if he decides to play the Dark Witch with the Baby Dragon, he has high scope here. On the other end, Prashant loves to play the Lava and the Balloon together. Now, even though both these cards are very high elixir, it's somehow he's able to play really well with them, with the Royal Ghost and the Inferno to counter-attack any move that comes to him. So I'm very excited to see if this game goes to the best of 5. Yeah, that's about it I could say about these two players as of now.
I'm using my psychic abilities. 1 second. I'm seeing the game in the palm of my hand, like with the foreseeing eye. I can see, the ghosts tell me the game goes into all 5 rounds getting played. Yes.
Yes, that's what you heard. These two players are phenomenal.
I think I'm
players.
going to support Prashant PP.
All right, I think I would suppose Saif Patel. One reason being is he has defeated somebody, and he is from my home city. So yes, I would love to see how this.
All right then. So then let's move to the magnetic personality, the gentle giant who's still not a fully grown giant. He's the Wun of Indian esports. He is none other than Gautam Virkaholic Virk.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Clash Royale, the best game of ESL India Premiership, and thank you so much, Vagish and Zara, for that beautiful introduction, and thanks, Vagish, for passing the magnetic personality over to me. But while I finish this talk, we've already started the game. These guys don't wait for me to even do a proper introduction or anything. These guys are going all at it. We have today Saif versus PP. It's an exciting game of Clash Royale. We already see a couple of unique units already on the ground. And there's already a big war games actually happening. The P.E.K.K.A. dropping the serious hammer down on the Giant. You see the Giant pretty much disappear very, very quickly. P.E.K.K.A. single-handedly does a lot of damage on his single swing. And the value coming out of that magic archer is next level, by the way. This is great Clash Royale that we're going to see right off the bat here. Talking more about the players, we did hear Vagish and Angela talk about the fact that Saif is from Gujarat. So we've actually had a lot of people playing from Gujarat. We actually had last year or 2016 ESWC India winner from Gujarat. His name was Dhruv. I'm just going to go on a little tangent here. I think it's Dhruv Patel. So I'm pretty sure Patel is a fairly common last name in that general region. So Dhruv Patel was the winner of the ESWC India qualifier. Actually went on to represent India also. Didn't have quite the performance necessary to make it to the second round, but he did pretty well. So here we go. We're getting to see what the overall crux of the game is. We have the big Giant and Dark Witch combo coming along with Saif is countering Night Witch. Sorry, Night and Dark are two different words. There was Night Witch. Thank you, production. And we have the Night Witch with the Giant combo coming in, which Saif needs to defend. He normally defends that pretty well using a P.E.K.K.A. However, in the last iteration of this push, we saw the Giant actually getting a few punches off on the tower, bringing it down to 1400 health. But on the counter attack, normally Saif does get in a good minor. Poison absolutely destroying the Sparkies very quickly. They try to get their job done, however, not able to close there. Another Giants on the offensive, 23 seconds left on the clock. This is the big push that PP is trying to go for, and I'm actually running out of breath here. There's a lot of exciting action. Two Inferno Dragons in the air doing a lot of DPS. Let's hope that they do not tag onto the tower, which they will not be. The Sparkies are going to be consistently stunning them. However, still alive. Zappies, Sparkies, my god. Today I'm on a good day today. Zappies trying to make something happen on the defensive. Now you've seen the overall game right now. It's Saif is pretty much on the defense, not able to mount a good offense there because there's so much pressure being put on him, and he needs to make sure that he's able to get some unit across the river. Otherwise, he's gonna lose that tower. As you can see, 150 health left on that tower on the left, and he could potentially lose the game there. One final stand, one final road to glory there. 1300 health on the other side. The poison is down. The zap is also down. And this is GG. Game 1. Exciting finish there by PP. He's actually had a great performance, if I am not wrong. PP's have done a pretty well this season so far. Don't have the chart of this season in front of me, but PP's been playing very well. Saif has been a very familiar name since last year. Also, we've seen him playing a lot, and this is best of 5, this is my favorite line to go to after game 1. I just love saying that. This is best of 5. We have plenty of games to go, and we've had some 3-0s, but that's okay. We've been doing well so far. Game 2, we've seen the ban cards there. We have 3 Musketeers banned, and the Golem. The big Golem is banned. Talking about my personal Clash Royale journey right now, I'm rocking a 2.6 Elixir deck. I just love doing these silly decks because the moment my crown counts reaches 3600, I get scared and I'm like, holy, what I'm gonna do right now? So what I do is I start trying silly decks and see how far I can go. And once I drop down to 3400, I just kind of go back to my 3 Musketeer, which is like my go-to deck at the moment. It never fails me, actually, telling you the truth. Big connects on the right-hand side, even though the Ram did not connect. However, the Bandit was able to connect on his charge, so bringing the tower down fairly low. Something that PP was not very happy about, where you can see with his emotions coming out. PP has not changed his deck. Saif has switched over to a different deck where he has a lot of bridge spam cards, I have to tell you, but we'll see how this all pans out, because the moment PP puts out a lot of pressure in one lane, I swear to God, he's going to be facing a lot of friction in the opposite lane, because that's Saif's strategy right now. And but now he doesn't have an option. He needs to defend this big push, and his defensive cards are very weird at the moment, and I'm wondering how is he planning to defend, because that giant is knocking on his doorsteps. Inferno Dragon trying to bring him down fairly quickly, but still managed to bring the health down fairly low. PP now needs to defend, brings out the Magic Archer. He's doing well. It's a level 1 Magic Archer, so he's trying to make something happen, but a lot of damage being taken on the tower, which thereby he's completely lost that tower, by the way. Magic Archer still at it and brings the Inferno Dragon down. Off to a great start. A lot of low cost elixir cards here. He will be zapping the Inferno Dragon. Did he miss that zap? Yes, he missed the zap. Wow. That was 101. Clash Royale 101 mistake. That's okay. You know what? There's a lot of pressure on these players. They have a lot to live up to. You know, they've been playing consistently for so long. A lot of pressures on their mind. And if they miss a key zap like that, it's you have to understand. It's okay. You have to forget this mistake and move on, because of the fact that it's a best of 5. And so PP will have plenty of time to think about his mistake and make something happen, because this is the Master League, and in the Masters League you have to be at the top of your game, and you can't let small things like this pull you back down. So let's get into game 3 of the ESL India Premiership Clash Royale. Best game there is. All right. Good luck. Good manners coming out from both the players. Cards have been switched around. I see the double knight on Saif. We see Prashant with a lot of quite a mix of units there. We can see the P.E.K.K.A. also. This is going to be quite interesting actually. What's the end game here? What's the goal here? Hoop. Gotta love the ghost. I love the splash damage that the ghost does, which apparently my co-caster Manoj Gola completely forgot about, that the Royal Ghost actually does splash damage. It's okay. Some people just have to take some time to improve. Just joking. Anyways, big offensive push. A P.E.K.K.A. is still alive and making its way across. The bats, very well placed bats, and he has no answer to that. The Ghost able to sneak through there, however, will do a lot of damage to the Dark Knight. This Dark and the Knight, the Dark Prince. All right. I think this whole standing up and casting thing is messing with my mind. Saif has gone for the typical build that we've been seeing a lot, by the way, in the Premiership so far, as the double knight and a giant build, which is something a lot of players kind of go back to as their backup build, where if they are in doubt, it seems like they kind of go for this build. I have personally not been able to kind of get a hold on this build. I have no idea how to kind of pull it off because the cards are fairly expensive. And to stack them all up and go in for an all-in push, it just seems very weird for me. Even though I'm a 3 Musketeer player, here P.E.K.K.A. now finally comes down. This is the double elixir time, so this is the all-in time. I think with the slow P.E.K.K.A. movement speed, Saif might decide to push on the right, which is exactly what he does. Big push coming in on the right. The Ghost is out. The log comes out. The point right now is to take the tower before the other team and another team can do it. But let's see how is this gonna work out. The giant has locked onto the tower, but will not be able to bring it down. The P.E.K.K.A. Distracted on the left-hand side pretty well. Also, very nice defense on the left and a charge being hit on the miner. I think Saif played pretty well there, knowing the fact that the P.E.K.K.A. was dropped way far in the back, and he took his chances, pushed on the right-hand side. And now he can easily cycle his poison and few of his units to bring down the tower on the right. Now here comes another push. He's seen the P.E.K.K.A. very slow at the back, and he's going to put a giant up front. And we're going to see the same thing happening one more time. And now Prashant needs to defend very, very well. He needs to make something happen here. Otherwise, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Second, Goblin Hut also coming out very well defended, by the way. And now a little oops coming out. This knight could charge into the building. Yes, it does. A Ghost. Not the best unit to put down on the map because clearly no one can see him unless he attacks. And which prompted the knight to charge directly into the tower and taking it down. This is game 2 going in favor of Saif. Sorry, game 2 is the score. Third is the game. Game 3, 2-0, 2-1 in favor of Saif. And this is the ESL India Premiership, powered by Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, Red Bull, and organized by the good folks over at Nordwind Gaming. Very, very kind and good-hearted folks at Nordwind Gaming. Nice people. Very esports focused, I tell you. You should go meet them sometimes. Quite a change of cards, by the way. We've seen Prashant actually opting for the double knight build as well. However, has a big fat missile actually in his... I know what it's called. Wow. These guys are doubting my capabilities of remembering card names. It's only 64 cards, by the way. Here comes the charge. Charge will be stopped. Yes, it does. Now, Saif kind of sticking to the build that he's had good success with. Using the miner defensively there. Keep in mind, as we spoke earlier also, the miner does extra damage to unit compared to buildings. Fairly slow walking unit actually, you can see. Prashant mounting the same thing that his opponent actually did on him. Not planning to drop down the giant at the moment. Here comes the charge, zapped away, another zap coming in. I think that was unnecessary, but that's fine. Both the players actually playing very defensively. If you can sense that, a lot of cards being dropped at the back. They don't quite know what's gonna happen. They have not dropped their big units so far. Still cycling their units, which kind of don't tell the story as a whole. So that is interesting. Both the guys going for a very defensive build, and the ghost was able to distract that knight long enough for it to go down. So here comes another knight, and he should be able to take down the ghost instantly. Yes, it does. The prince, the royal prince, just the prince. All right, big push. 60 seconds left on the clock. It is the double elixir time. The big units have been revealed. It's P.E.K.K.A versus the giant. P.E.K.K.A, of course, does a lot more damage than the giant. Giant only focuses on the building. So now it's going to be the big game and seeing what is going to happen now. The poison has been dropped. The P.E.K.K.A is in the midst of things. He's targeting the right unit. That's exactly the unit that you want the P.E.K.K.A to hit. And look at this. P.E.K.K.A still alive. And they are making their way across the field right now. And that's going to be a big counter push that PP needs to kind of take care of. PP in a lot of trouble here. Could face a lot of damage. Able to defend this. Saif not having the elixir lead. Yes, he does actually have a lot of elixir lead now to post a defensive push here. A Nado being used, which I deem was a bit overkill. I think he wanted his baby dragon to do splash damage. However, does get few hits on the tower. I don't know if it was worth it. It was definitely not worth it. But now Saif will most probably drop the skeleton army, and they've come down and they've taken care of this big giant. So here comes another P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A on very good defensive unit, by the way, because of the sheer amount of damage he does when he's hitting units, making its way across. Is Saif slowly going to just poison chip away at his opponent? I guess that's all we have to see right now. The prince dropped in the back. The giant making it out alive almost, but will not be able to make it across. The miner actually coming in the back, which is great actually, by the way, for him, because he's not even able to get a lot of damage down on that tower. And that miner single-handedly bringing the tower down to half the HP that it had earlier. So 600 health left on that. A few cycles of poison will be able to clear that tower out if he's not able to get something through. So now it's a game of chess actually. He needs to figure out which units he wants to sacrifice up front. At the same time mounting some defense at the same and this is gonna be quite interesting actually. So the P.E.K.K.A is actually serving quite well for him. The P.E.K.K.A is consistently able to block all these huge units coming towards him. A nice Nado now coming in. A lot of damage being done. P.E.K.K.A still alive and still able to take down the giant. And PP is having a lot of trouble getting through to his opponent and able to hit that tower. And then this is game over, guys. This is game over. Game 4 going in favor of Saif with a score of 3-1. He has taken this best of 5 in his favor. I would like to congratulate Saif. He's done great play. And PP, you tried really well, and we all saw it. You played absolutely like a beast, but Saif just had the right answer to the cards at the right time, and no mistakes were made there. But Saif just simply had the right cards to handle that kind of pressure that was coming at him. And this has been quite a learning experience for me also, understanding how best to stop the giant and double knight build there. The prince and the dark prince right behind the giant can do a lot of DPS, but if you have the right units in your hands, this will actually, you know, be quite an educational thing for me actually. I'm actually going to go on and try this build in my day-to-day Clash Royale practice, my workout that I do. But this is it from my side. This is the ESL India Premiership Clash Royale casting powered by Gotham Workaholic Virk himself. Life doesn't get better than this, by the way. And I would like to pass it back to our good folks in the studio, Vagish and Zera. Thank you so much, guys. Take it away.
All right then, everybody. Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership. Thank you. Thank you, you gentle giant Gautam Workaholic Virk, always wonderfully casting Clash Royale and whatnot. But, Angie, your man won.
I'm very, very, very excited about this analysis.
Okay then.
All
Okay
right.
then.
All right, so let's begin with the first game. In the first game, I have learned something about Saif. He always loses the first game. I think the reason behind that is he's just gauging how his opponent is actually going to play the game. So in the first game, I noticed that Prashant was very well headed about playing flying units, which is actually in the meta as of now in Clash Royale. But the problem with Saif's deck at that kind of point of time was he only had ground defense, and that's why we saw that the Infernos, he had two Infernos that kind of went and just wrecked the whole tower. And once Saif understood that, okay, Prashant is really working well with the flying cards, in the second game, we saw him pick up zaps, he picked up bats, he picked up everything to kind of counter any flying unit. But the mistake PP made in that game was that he continued to play with the same deck that he had played in the previous game. But the problem is that when you re-repeat a deck, your opponent has already understood what you're already going to be playing. And that is why in the second game, Saif got that confidence that, okay, PP is going to play the same deck, I know how to counter this, I've changed my cards a little bit. He's not really going to be able to touch that Inferno Dragon to my tower after this. Now, when he moved on to the third game, both of them figured out that the earlier two decks that they have used are not really going to really help them. So they completely switched it out. We saw Saif completely bring in his whole goblin army, goblin gang, goblin heart, spear goblins, everything under the sun. He brought in the bats, and then there was a switch. He started playing the giant. Now, a giant is very hard to counter, and in the previous games that we've already watched in the ESL India Premiership, we saw the mini P.E.K.K.A getting played to kind of counter the giant. But in this kind of matchup, what happened was because he picked up the giant, instantly we saw PP pick up the P.E.K.K.A, because these are only the two counters in the game. You can actually play aggressively. At the same time, you can use it as a defense. And we saw in the fourth game, the P.E.K.K.A was used so much in defense more than an aggressive push. Saif kind of realized that he's not really going to get the opportunity to touch the tower with the P.E.K.K.A. So he very smartly has moved the miner to kind of do the defense with the poison. And he left the P.E.K.K.A to just take care of that giant in the game. And that is just really good gameplay. I mean, before this, we saw Mukul play a combination of getting the Sparky to kind of counter the Golem, and now they have started making this a very common thing in the ESL India Premiership, that all the bigger cards are used to counter the other bigger card rather than using it as an aggressive push, while you're using the slower elixir cards like a Miner, a Poison, Bats, Ice Golem, whatever else, to kind of just counter and get to the tower. And even though we saw that PP had a rocket available if he wanted to spam it, he really didn't get the opportunity, because if you're going to continuously keep pushing with a giant, where's the opportunity to kind of cancel out everything with a rocket? And I think props to Saif. I mean, he's really learned how, he's really understood each of his opponents in every single game, and that's why he is, I think he's going to be there at the land finale. This would be his second win in the ESL India Premiership.
Alrighty then, alrighty then. Well, that sums up today's Clash Royale game. We'll take a quick break here. On the other side,